Here's a handful of things you might not have known about AccessWealth, along with a couple of misconceptions that we'd like to clear up with you today. The AccessWealth plan was specifically designed to create a legacy for you. That's right, it was meant to be for those that come after you, your wife, your husband, your children, those left behind as a result of your death. We wanted to put together a package of products that would create value, that would extend beyond anything you currently have. So let's think about the AccessWealth. The AccessWealth gives you two separate products. The first one is your very own tax-free investment account. The second one is 125,000 rands worth of personal accident cover. Into your tax-free investment account, you're able to invest up to now about 3,000 rand a month. But most only invest 100 rand a month. This means that you're only investing about 1,200 rand a year. This is not a large amount of money. That's why we added the personal accident cover of 125,000 rand. This meant that if you passed away from an accident, you would get the value of your investment plus the 125,000 rand transferred to your beneficiaries. That is a significant number. Imagine what your family could do if they lost you, the primary breadwinner in the household, and were able to receive more than 125,000 rand. That sets them up in repaying any debts that you might have had, paying for food, groceries and that while they don't have a breadwinner, maybe paying for education, etc. That was why the two elements were so critical when put together. It's why we chose to package them the way we did. Now, one of the misconceptions about this product is that the tax-free investment is a savings account. Folks, it's not a savings account. Savings account are what banks have. We're not a bank. What we've given you is a tax-free investment account. What it does is it takes your money every month and it invests it into unit trusts, easily explained as shares on the JSE. This means that you now become a shareholder in the economy of South Africa. This is critically important to understand. Most of the time, we are not offered the opportunity to become part of the people that control the economy around us. But with your tax-free investment account, you now become a shareholder in some of the biggest and best companies in South Africa. What happens though is that the balance, the value of these shares floats on the stock exchange. So it means that in some days the prices are up as people are buying shares, and some days the prices are down when people are selling shares. Over time, the JSE has gone up and down and up and down, but it's had an average upwards trend. Now, you would have noticed recently we've had a huge crash in the global stock exchanges, including the JSE. This means the value of your shares may have dropped quite significantly. This isn't a good time to be selling your shares, no, or cashing out your investment. What you want to do is hang on to them, because over time that drop will curl back up again, the JSE will recover, and it will continue to up and down like this, but with a constant gradual over time increase in the value of your investment and your shares. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I've spoken to a few folk who go, how come my balance keeps changing? It's my balance. It's not your balance, it's not a bank account. It's the value of your unit trusts, your shares in the JSE. And therefore, it is something you should treasure, not spend. You should be accumulating your investment value month after month by investing in it. And once time has passed, perhaps 10 years, perhaps 20 years, as you move into retirement and you need that money, that's the point at which you pull out your investment. By that time, you will have had the linear growth of your investments, you would have had the capital growth of the JSE moving, and you would have had the compounding effect of growth as dividends from these companies who issue dividends on an annual basis to their shareholders came into your investment account and was reinvested into more and more shares. Folks, this is good wealth management. But if during the course of that period of time you pass away from an accident, we'll take the value of that investment, we'll add it to 125,000 rands worth of personal accident cover, and that will be the legacy that you leave for your family. The AccessWealth plan is a critical tool in your wealth and your legacy planning. We, as I've said before, have a survival mentality, a poverty mentality in South Africa, which says, if I'm not going to gain from it, I don't want it. I don't care about my family. That has to change if we want to end the poverty cycle in South Africa. The Access Wealth Plan is your tool, it's your key to ending the poverty cycle in your family. Invest, 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 and build a value for yourself and your family in the future. Do not treat it as a transactional account. Folks, we're going to have a live FAQ session on our Access Wealth Plan on Monday. Make sure that you tune into Facebook, watch us live, put your questions in the chat, and I will be answering all your questions for you. See you then.